Hey hunties, hope you're all fine and well wherever you're watching this in the world today. So, really hoping just to do a quick, simple look today, just to put makeup on my face. It's been about 2 months since I did anything. There was plans in place to do stuff. Unfortunately, those plans out of the window, so I'm going to be here, excuse me, to give you a live catch-up. Sorry, I'm just tidying up the makeup desk. You know me, I can't not be doing something because I spot things and the ADHD takes hold. I say that, I'm not diagnosed. But then I watch my videos back and I'm like, maybe I do have ADHD. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna put makeup on my face and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a lowdown as to what's gone on in the last couple of months of my life, because everything just kind of went in the opposite direction of what was planned. And yeah, I feel like we need to talk. So I'm going to get the eyebrows down, you know, the usual, and then I will be back to you once we are ready to do the eye makeup. So I shall see you once the eyebrows are down. And we are back. The eyebrows are down. They went down surprisingly well, and the stencil went on pretty much perfectly the first time, so I'm pleased with that. So yeah, August kind of ended up being a little bit of a month where things didn't quite go to plan. Obviously, as we are pretty much all aware, my husband is away for 8 months, and I said all along that there was no plan to see him in that 8 months. And then we had a chat on the 12th, the 12th of, yes, had a chat on the 12th of August, which was exactly 14 weeks down, 14 weeks to go. And we kind of both realised just how much we were missing each other. But neither of us kind of wanted to say too much because obviously we didn't want to potentially upset the other person. So we just kind of kept it quiet. And then on the 14th, we were having another chat, thankfully, which was quite nice. We were having another chat and we both kind of were like, yeah, I think we're both missing each other a lot more than we had anticipated to. That's working. Yeah, we were kind of both missing each other a lot more than we had initially anticipated we would. So I said, and I've already messed up. So I said to him, I was like, if I am able to get the leave, shall I come out to Japan? Because he had 3 weeks in Japan. At the halfway point, he had a week of that off as personal leave. I was 99% sure that I wasn't going to get the leave. Like, I would throw that one out there. I was absolutely like, no, don't get your hopes up. This isn't going to happen. But I'll ask in work just in case, see what happens. And lo and behold, 16th, I asked, 18th, booked the tickets, 20th, I was flying out to Japan. It was completely one of those sporadic trips, which I think kind of made it that much better, because there's no build up, there's no anticipation to it. And yeah, 21st, so set off my first flight was 8 in the morning out of Manchester, into Heathrow, which wasn't obviously too bad. That's a nice hour-long flight. And even then, it's actually only half an hour in the air at 10,000 feet, so you don't even fully pressurise. And yeah, it was a nice, easy one to start everything off with. Then flew out from Heathrow directly into Haneda. 14 hours. I hope I never have to do it 14 hours in the air again. Jesus, that was just not it for me. I am not a fan of flying at the best of times. That's a lot lower than its counterpart. I'm not a fan of flying at the best of times, but flying for 14 hours alone, I might point out, it was the first time I'd ever flown by myself, apart from flying with work to go on deployment. So yeah, 14 hours in the air, not it for me, I'm afraid. I don't hope I never have to do that again. Where was I? Yeah, landed on the Thursday, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I was quite emotional during the flight, don't get me wrong, because it was like, I'm going to get to see my husband, I'm going to get to see my husband. There was lots of, like, positive vibes of, I'm going to get to see my husband. And then I kind of was quite lucky in that I held it together, which was quite nice. Where was I? Yeah, landed on the Thursday. I was doing surprisingly well, and then was coming through security at Haneda, and that was when I kind of had that realization of, oh my God, my husband is the other side of that wall somewhere. And that was, I need to stop talking. Let me finish doing the cut crease and then I'll be back with you, because I'm talking and it's moving my arm. So give me a moment and I'll be back. I'm going to put some music on. I forgot where I was. So landed on the Thursday. Yeah, landed on, if I keep saying landed on the Thursday, this is like Peppermint. It's fashion. It's not fashion. This isn't fashion in the slightest. We transported straight to the hotel after landing, having had a hug, because in Japan, they're not very big on public displays of affection, and that's not a gay LGBT thing. It's all genders. They're just not big on it. So we had a hug, and then got ourselves on the way to the hotel. Had ourselves KFC for dinner, because I was knackered and I was like, I really don't want to just go exploring. I would rather just get myself in, get food down my neck. That's got quite a nice shine to it. And then head to bed, because I have been travelling for a long time to get here. But whilst we were out at KFC, we had a look at kind of the weather for the week ahead, because when I landed, or rather before I got there, obviously, they had just started a heat wave, which meant that they were going to be having 35 degrees and about 80% humidity every single day whilst I was there, which is just what you want when you are not acclimatized to that weather. Now, one thing I'll say, the Brits seem to acclimatise, or myself, seem to acclimatise a lot better than the locals did, because on the Friday we were like, oh, let's go to Disney. We decided on the Thursday we were going to go to Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea. Absolutely incredible parks. And we got there 9 a.m, got a lovely picture with the castle, and it was already 30 degrees. It peaked at 35 in the afternoon, but because of humidity, it felt like 48. And there isn't a breeze anywhere to start shifting it. Now, when I left the island, they were on day 9, so it broke records. They were on day 9 above 35 degrees in the middle of the day. So it was hot. So we did Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea on the Friday. Absolutely incredible. Excuse me. First time I'd done any theme parks outside of the UK as well, other than Disneyland Paris when I was like 5. So I don't really remember all that much of it, other than It's a Small World. So naturally, I took some pictures on It's a Small World, sent them to my family WhatsApp and said, if I have to suffer, so do all of you. And my dad was cursing me because he was like, I've had It's a Small World stuck in my head for 3 days now. And I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Because that's what family and friends do. We make each other suffer. Especially when it comes to It's a Small World. Now I'm going to have that stuck in my head for the rest of the day, and it's going to be my own fault at least. The Saturday, we planned to go to Electric Town. We ended up in Electric Town, but then I can't remember why. I think it was because we realised the time and how big it was. Why people message me? What are you up to? I'm in the middle of doing my makeup. That's what I'm up to. So yeah, we were going to go to this like Electric Town, and basically Electric Town is the like Camden Market of Tokyo. Absolutely incredible. There's so much weird stuff there, and it was all kind of the weird and wonderful. Had a fantastic time. Sorry, we ended up doing that on the Tuesday. And had a fantastic time. But on the Saturday, yeah, we were going to go to Electric Town, but we wanted to have a full day there. So it was, do we call it on Saturday and go do something else? Which is what we did. We ended up going and finding one of the Pokemon centres. And we just happened to end up at the Pokemon Tokyo DX, because there's two in Tokyo. One's in like a big shopping centre, and the other one is just in a random high-rise building that's attached to basically what is Tokyo versions of Harrods. And the Tokyo DX, which is the one we ended up at first, had the Pokemon Cafe attached to it. Now, the Pokemon Cafe is essentially, we had a look on booking because we're like, oh, can we get a last-minute booking in? No, that thing is sold out for the next 3 months. Wonderful. We are not getting in here. However, they did have a non-reservations queue for essentially join the queue, and if there's a cancellation or a no-show, you could get lucky and get in. So we jumped into that queue for the next sitting, which was like half an hour later, and we were like, sod it, we'll burn up half an hour of our day. Oh, no. We'll burn up half an hour of our day in doing this. I did exactly what I didn't want to do then. I keep going in on this bloody eyeliner every single time. I don't know if it's the brush, I don't know if it's me. It's me talking that's the problem. Right. So we ended up in Pokemon Cafe, or in the Pokemon Center, joined for the queue for the cafe. There was a couple ahead of us. They got let in, and we were like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky. 5 minutes passed, and we ended up getting in. There was about 10 people behind us, and they were all told, no, everybody else has shown up for the next sitting. So we got so lucky. We got in there, and we had an absolutely incredible time. My 10-year-old self was crying pretty much most of it. The food was really great. The theming was fantastic. We ended up coming away with a load of souvenirs. So Sinistea, who is from the Galar region, which is based on Britain, and we got a teapot of it. Unfortunately, they were sold out of the Sinistea mugs, which I was boo. And yeah, we had a fantastic time. We ended up going to the other Pokemon Center because that was the Pokemon Go Center as well. So they have a load of exclusive merch there. Didn't buy any merch. We bought some Pokemon cards whilst we were in there. And then we realised how late it was in the day, and we were like, we should probably go back to the hotel. Because Kieran, my husband, had something booked for the Sunday with some work colleagues already, so I just had a chill day on the Sunday in the hotel. I'm going to get these done, and then I'll get back to you once these are on. How far have we discussed? We did, Pokemon Cafe. So yes, we did the Pokemon Cafe. Absolutely incredible. My 10-year-old self was just absolutely crying the whole time. And it was absolutely insane. It was so good. Like, the food was incredible. The theming was incredible. Came back with a bit of merch, as I'd said. And that was on the Saturday. The Sunday, the husband already had plans in place to go do, I think it was kendo, kind of chilled in the hotel whilst he was out doing that. And it was nice because it was just out of any major heat. But on the Monday, we decided that we were looking at going to Hiroshima, getting the Shinkansen down to Hiroshima. Do I regret not going to Hiroshima? Yes and no. Because I completely forgot that there is a Universal Studios park in Japan. So we ended up at Universal Studios Japan, which is in Osaka. So we got the bullet train to Osaka instead. Now, I will give this for the Japanese. When like people make jokes about it, is like the efficiency of the Shinkansen, like it literally leaves dead on time. And I when they say dead on time, they mean dead on time. Like we were sat just in from the front of the carriage, and there was a digital clock, and the moment it went 0600, we started moving. Not a second sooner, but the moment, like the doors had obviously closed, and I think they closed the doors like 30 seconds beforehand. But yeah, there is no messing around. If you're not on it, you are being left behind. Oh, excuse me. I do apologise. Oh, Jesus. That was disgusting. So yeah, we ended up going down to Osaka instead of Hiroshima. And considering the fact we literally booked the tickets for the Shinkansen the day before, like not even 12 hours before we travelled, I think we paid 75 quid each way. So it was 300 quid return. And that's a 420 kilometre journey. So let's say that is the equivalent of London to Edinburgh, for example. Like, you could not book London to Edinburgh, and it was a 2.5 hour journey. London to Edinburgh would at least be 6 hours, probably get cancelled. The hairnet is about to pop off. I can feel it shifting slowly but surely. And yeah, it was just bonkers how fast it was. It was smooth as glass. Like, you would not know you were doing that journey. Oh, that was chunky. You would not know you were doing that journey the way that we were. And yeah, I just was so impressed with it. I mean, their whole transit system as a whole, like, is incredible. So they've got the metro lines, basically their version of the London Underground. One of the trains was a minute late, and they were apologising for it. And I was like, you wouldn't even get an apology for a cancelled train, like, in the UK. Like, this is just insanely cool. So yeah, they have Tokyo Main Station. Tokyo Main Station is huge, by the way. Like, we were there for, like, it wasn't for the day of the Shinkansen. We transited from one line to another, and we walked for 850 meters underground to get between two lines, and they weren't even the furthest lines apart, I don't think. Like, this place is incredibly huge as an underground station goes. We had an incredible time down at Universal. It makes you realise how unthemed British theme parks are. Like, we have amusement parks, we don't have theme parks. That is for sure. I've seen it said in the past, and I'm like, nah, it's not like that. It is. Like, our theming is loose. Their theming is, no, we are doing this. And you're like, oh, okay. It was fantastic. For what we paid, had an incredible time. I cried a few times whilst we're in there, because getting to go on the Hogwarts ride was absolutely spectacular. Don't get me wrong, don't agree with or like J.K. Rowling. However, I try and separate art from the artist with a lot of things. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of people have put in a lot of work. Something else has fallen onto my cheek again. Obviously, there's a lot of people who've put a lot of work into these rides, and I don't want to diminish their efforts just because of her. So we didn't buy any merch. We went and appreciated the ride system for what it was. And that was it. From there, we did have lunch there because we kind of not persuaded ourselves that she wouldn't see any of the money, but it was pretty obvious that the money from the money from food sales goes into the park, not to her. So we had lunch in the Three Broomsticks, which was adjacent to the Black Lake and sat underneath Hogwarts Castle. And that kind of fulfilled a lot of like childhood joy. I cried for that one as well, because I cried loads out there, because it was all very overwhelming, because it was just like, it was so sudden, it was not planned. And it was just that every now and again was just like, how is this suddenly my life? Like, what has caused this? How has this happened? It really was an incredible trip. And because it was so unplanned, I think that made it that much better. Stay. That's what made it that much better, because it was just like kind of, oh, I'm suddenly in Japan. And yeah, every now and again just stopping and going, I'm in Japan with my husband. How has this happened? What is the world coming to? Yeah. That's the reason why I've kind of not posted anything, because I ended up being very, very busy. And I think it's taken me about 2 weeks to catch up on sleep. Not because like, I obviously didn't sleep out there, like jet lag and the whatnot. But again, absolutely incredible. Would I go back to Japan? Yeah, in a heartbeat. It was amazing. If I had the aptitude for learning languages, I would happily move out there. Yeah, on the Tuesday we ended up in Electric Town. Had ourselves a Mackey's for lunch, just so that we could say we tried Japanese Mackey's. Similar in like to the US, they take US portion sizing, so jumbo is huge, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, jumbo, it's Japanese, they are all like, everything's going to be quite small portion sizes. No, this thing was massive, very unexpected. Ow, stabbed myself in the eye. Which I kind of wasn't mad about. Like, the chips were of decent size anyway, but I like a big drink, because I'm one of these people who likes to be well hydrated. Great, now my eyes are watering because I stabbed myself. And yeah, Electric Town was just, there's anime everywhere. Like I said, it's basically like the Camden Market of Tokyo. It's just so random, such weird stuff. And we found, I'd say a department store, so kind of like their Debenhams. And we were in there, and we found, because we hadn't managed to have a chance to go on the Switch 2 yet, but we found a Switch 2. We played on the new Mario Kart, because we both like Mario Kart, and we've gone on the Mario Kart ride whilst we're in Universal. And out of 8 people on the Mario Kart ride, as a total with us as a group, Kieran came top with 180 coins, and I got 159 coins. So he beat me, but we were the top 2, which is pretty much how it always is in Mario Kart for us, and I'm always second. Anyway, we were playing this new Mario Kart game, and I beat him. So I got to say that I won our first ever time playing Mario Kart, the new game, on the Switch 2, in the home of Super Mario and the home of Nintendo in Japan. So I have ultimate bragging rights that he can't take away. So yeah, how have I just taken foundation off my nose? What on earth is wrong with me today? So yeah, I have the ultimate bragging rights on that front, which I'm very, very pleased with, obviously. If you can't already tell. Yep, flew home. Did not want to come back, but for the purposes of our bank account, I needed to. Would 100% go back in a heartbeat. It was incredible. Japan was incredible. Go back in a heartbeat. It's very expensive. That's basically what we're deducing this down to. If you ever get the chance to go, definitely do. If it's on your bucket list, absolutely book it. They are a culture similar to the Spanish, similar to the Italian, similar to the Germans. You learn like the basic 4 phrases of hello, please, thank you, goodbye. They will appreciate it, because most of them in Tokyo speak English, not not great because they obviously don't get a lot of opportunity to speak it. But again, Google Translate does wonders on the apps. Can't argue with it in the slightest. So yeah, right, I'm going to get off. I'm going to tidy up a bit. I'm going to get clothing on, and then I'm going to do what I initially came out here to do, which was to do a lip sync. But it's for a project that I'm going to be working on over the next month, and should hopefully have out. It's going to be faster than the last project that took nearly 8 months. So it'll all have the same background at least. Wonderful. But yeah, so this is what this is start of. So yeah, right. I shall see you later. Bye, hunties.